Hi, my name is Katherine Hernandez. I'm doing my presentation on abortion. Abortion is the ending of a pregnancy. There are a few types of abortions. It can be a spontaneous abortion, also called a miscarriage, which is due to birth defects or injury, or the woman not being able to carry the fetus. An induced abortion is a termination of pregnancy through drugs or surgery. This is usually what we know as when we talk about abortion. Therapeutic abortion is another option to preserve the life and health of a woman if their pregnancy will cause them any health problems. There are also a few stances on abortion. A conservative view of abortion, usually known as the pro-life advocates, believe that abortion is never morally acceptable. The liberal view on abortion, as we know as pro-choice, they believe that abortion is acceptable whenever the woman wants. And there's also a moderate stance on abortion, which meets somewhere in the middle, where they believe that some but not all abortions are morally justified, whether it be for health reasons or personal reasons. The conservative argument of abortion states that the killing of a human being is wrong. This is usually more of a religious stance because they believe that the unborn is an innocent person from the moment of conception, and they stand by saying that it is wrong to kill the unborn. The liberal argument would be that the unborn fetus is not a full human being and therefore does not have rights over itself, and that it is the right of the mother to make choices on her own body, and they argue that women have a constitutional right. In an article that I read, it was by Alsbrook. She states that in 1973, the Supreme Court decriminalized abortion through the passing of the 14th Amendment. They argue that abortion is healthcare and that healthcare is a right that everyone should have and therefore should be protected. Abortion rights are also being torn down by states and lawmakers and politicians to restrict these procedures. However, these restrictions go against the U.S. Constitution by restricting the freedom of the woman's body by not letting them make their own choices. Movements against abortion have also caused abortion to be stigmatized, violence against women, decreased access to reproductive health, and they use more scare tactics to influence women to not have these procedures. And this can mean whether from birth control to the procedure itself. And women of color, women that are identify as LGBTQ, immigrants, and women with disabilities, and also women that are in more rural communities, are even at more risk of having less access and therefore have an increased risk of having abortions that are not medically safe. In another article opposing abortion, this was written after the legalization of the 6-week ban of abortion. So after 6 weeks of pregnancy, it is illegal to have an abortion in Texas now. The article states that this is a win for the country and that it is a big step for other states to follow in the direction of Texas, as thousands of children will be saved from death from abortion. They state that abortion should not be legal after the signs of life are detected, like a heartbeat or movement. This law is a little bit tricky because it's enforced by its private citizens and not lawmakers itself. Some ethical theories that I can see in this is a utilitarian. It states that it's morally acceptable because women shouldn't suffer consequences without, like, if they aren't able to access abortion. It is also morally acceptable if the fetus were to be born with any defects or disabilities, and women should be allowed the freedom of their own body. However, the opposing view of the utilitarian is that abortion can cause emotional pain to the women having the abortion. The theory of the Kantian ethics states that if the person is not considered a person, then it is justified, and that women have the right to exercise their own autonomy and they have the right to self-defense. However, the opposing view, that is, if the fetus is considered a person, then it is morally unjust to go through with abortion. In conclusion, there are two major opposing sides, like there's pro-life and pro-choice. Some people stand in the middle, but these articles, I feel like the article by Ellsbrook has more arguments against abortion, because the article by Hawkins doesn't really state why abortion should be illegal, just that it can save children's lives. However, religion does play a major part in this, as religion states that it is morally wrong to murder a child. However, in the eyes of science, an unborn fetus is not a person. My own opinion is that the article by Hawkins doesn't really have an argument, and therefore I believe that women do have the right to their own body and should be able to make their own decisions. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I would like to see your opinions on this, and what your views are too. Thank you. And here are my references.